Okay, so we're not going to wait up anymore. For anyone who's listening right now, no, Jim, the only way I'm wearing a tie because I have a meeting with a chiropractor in a little bit. And then I have a meeting with another fellow. So I just dress fancy. Anyways, me too, but no tie. Oh, you know what? You don't have to wear a tie. I don't know why. For me, it completes a suit. Or not the suit. I don't wear a suit, but it completes the outfit. Everyone just does whatever's comfortable for them. I have a baby face. Make sure you're wearing pants. Look at this. I am wearing pants. I have pants on, all right. No, but I have a baby face, so I have to make up for it with a little scruff and a tie, and then everything's good. Because people are like, "What? You're almost 30?" So I had Chance say that he's not going to be able to get in until a little bit later, and I'm not even sure if these people are signing up because I know they're all in different time zones. I'm not even sure if they're going to be in on the class or if they're just going to be in it for the replays, like they didn't state. When I was your age, I grew a mustache, so nobody noticed. Well, it is what it is. So today is pretty exciting. So if you can see on the board behind me, last night I did something. I was pretty much trying to recreate the exact model structure that I used to be able to get myself to the 10K program. Now, here's the thing is I know you guys signed up for this 2500K program, but I don't think anyone wants to only make $2,500. I think everyone understood that that's the goal, that's the base, and that from there you guys can just keep growing, that you guys can keep making your own money. And we're not even going to stop there. If you've already hit that within this week or next week, great. Let's just keep moving. But I went to it and I actually found an old, what do you call it? Composition notebook that I used, and I kind of redrew what I had drawn in that composition notebook. And then I looked at it and I said, wow, if I would have known what I know now, and I would have been as good at putting together a full campaign the way I do now, I could have scaled this way quicker and I could have made things a lot easier on myself. So I did it. Who's excited to see it? I know you guys already saw the picture, but who's excited to see the fill-ins? So you've played probably like McDonald's Monopoly, where you have to peel the little things off the Coke and you stick them in as you get them. So I want you to think of this business model the same way. So in this business model that I'm about to show you, every time you complete an action, you finish something, I want you to just view it as you sticking in your little slot, the business, and you'll see what I mean. So let me get myself set up here. Can do a screen share. Now, just so you guys know, the reason I didn't put anybody as attendees or as panelists just yet is because of the noise I was getting. At the end, I'll make everyone a panelist. Everyone can ask questions, whatever may be the case. I just don't want to have to keep doing studio versions for everyone. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Do this. Let's see. Hopefully everyone can see my 10K model. I'm going full screen here, so I'll see you guys when it comes off. Okay, so my 10K model, how I surpassed $2,500. So here's something that you guys may have picked up or not in some of my interviews. Sometimes I breeze past it because it was a short, brief period of time. But when I started doing the marketing, I was actually doing it for another company. And I did it for like maybe 3 weeks. It started in late December, middle December. There was a company that came out with an app called Proximal. And Proximal was an app where like it was geo based. So like you could send out a message as a business and people in your area would get it. So they asked me if I would help them do their marketing, and I started helping the guy, and he wanted to get into actually doing like what we're doing, but not to the same degree. He didn't think about lead generation. He was just thinking about normal social media marketing where you're putting up posts and you're trying to build an online presence. And he had me building all of these websites, and it got crazy. And he wasn't scaling very quick. Like he was taking on all these hard customers, and I wasn't making a lot of money at it. And I said, okay, I cannot do this. I need to pay my rent. I need to pay for my family. So I said, I need to come up with a model. Now, I've owned 2 businesses before, so I've realized the importance of having a solid business plan. However, this business plan was going to be different, because this one was not going to be pages and pages and pages of, this is what I'll do if this happens, and this is what I'll do if that happens, and here's my mission, and this and that. Because I would, I've done that in the past, and I never opened them back up. I never went back and looked at them. So this model here, I'm going to end up attaching a PDF of it to our group for you to download in the portal after this. I want you to print it out, pin it on your board, and so that way as things are being completed, you can physically see it, or just PDF it and edit the PDF. But I want you to go back to it every time you make an accomplishment and do it. And here's the reason why. You've probably heard of the app Fitness Pal or something like that. And basically in that app, you're putting your progress, your weight loss. You put like, okay, I ate this, this, and this today, and you can see exactly how many calories it was. And then you can say, oh, well, I need to go work out because I did too many. And it makes everything visual. I can completely take a lot of the thinking out of getting to 10K for you if you just follow this model. So let me show it to you. Well, actually, first I have a little slogan here. As always, it says here, for example, who of you wanting to build a tower does not first sit down and calculate the expense to see if he has enough to complete it? Now, if you already know this, who said this, great. If you don't, the point of it is that if you're going to be building something, whether it's your own, this is actually a biblical verse, but if you're going to be building an empire, for instance, your own little marketing empire, you have to first calculate and figure out exactly what to do and when to do it, so that way you can do the best at it. Now, this here was talking about somebody who builds a tower but doesn't have enough money to complete it, so you just have an isolated building. And this happens. People start marketing. They start to build their campaign. They don't realize what's involved. They don't really have an end goal to get to other than just a dollar sign. And when you're only thinking in dollar signs, it's not good. It takes forever to get there. But when you're thinking in landmarks, that gets you to 10K. I want you to remember that. Thinking in landmarks. Okay, now I got to get here. Now I got to get here. Because that's going to drive you. Because like right now, think about it. We've done cold calling for the last, we did cold calling for the last week. And we're going to continue to do cold calling. That's not going to stop. And if at some point when you reach an amount where you say, okay, I can't take on more, maybe at that point it stops. But right now, we keep doing our cold calling. We keep meeting up. We keep hustling the same way that we've been. But you need to be able to see the landmarks. You need to be able to see, okay, I've gotten here. I've gotten here. Otherwise, you might feel like you've plateaued. You might be seeing new clients coming on, but you feel like you're personally not being taken to the next level. Because this is what happens. Hopefully you can see me. But you have your business and you have you. And your business can keep growing. And sometimes the owner doesn't grow with it. And so we want to make sure that that's happening, because if the higher you get, your business will stay up there. It's more sustainable. Okay. So at this point, I've been having you guys complete tasks, make videos, do this, do that. And you might think like, okay, these things were all at random. It's not at random. It's all going into this plan, and you'll see how it fits in. And I actually had a different idea on Monday. I had a different set of sheets that I was going to share with you. And the more and more I thought about it, this is the perfect time to show you the actual campaign. Because if you can visualize it and you can see it, it's going to make all of these things that I'm asking you to do that much better, because you're going to be building it with the big picture in mind, rather than making a bunch of small little pictures and then making a big picture out of it. If you have the big picture in mind, you won't have to recreate tons of videos and landing pages and things like that later on. So it'll be the most effective. And once again, I put my Frank Sinatra quote up. So here we go. This is the business model. It kind of looks like a theater seating, but as you'll see really quickly, it's actually a super complex business model, and it all fits together and ties together really nicely. And once you get this up and running, things are going to be going so smooth for you. And it's going to just be like your little machine. If you want, screenshot this because it may take a couple hours before you get the PDF on. Actually, you may want to wait until I get all the little inserts in there. But a good campaign is fully well-rounded. It's almost like a circle. A good campaign keeps things moving in one direction. And that one direction is to do business with you, kind of like a funnel. Now, I know it looks like this might be all over the place, but it's very strategically laid out. So let me show you. This is what you guys have been doing right now. You're doing all of these client trials. You're calling people. You're trying to get in the door. You want to get in there and do your appointments. Now, in between there is where that little arrow is. That's everything. That's your lunch and learns. That's all the stuff that you're doing to get the appointments. But sometimes we talked about, they say, I'll call you back. And when they do that, we send them that email. And this is the thing that I had told you guys to start building. It's basically an email into a funnel. And that funnel takes you to this retargeted ad. And so that's pretty much where we're at the moment with our campaign of what we're doing. And what you'll notice is that as this happens, you start getting these client trials. So these darker boxes here, these represent our client trials, and we hope that they eventually turn into paid ads. So in this business model, you can, as you're getting your client trials, you can drop it in one of these boxes. However, keep in mind, if it does not become a paid ad, you have to pull it out. That's the only thing you got to know, because when if you say, okay, I don't want to have to, I don't really care if I make much more than $10,000. I just right now want to maintain the clients I have. Okay, well, what is the maintaining? The maintaining is making sure that you have these 7 paid clients at all times. But what's cool is you don't have to get them paid to move to the next step. You just got to get their testimonials. So these videos here represent our testimonials. So like, let's say for instance that C4 here ends up not being a paid customer, or this one doesn't pay. Then that's okay. That's not that big of a deal because we still have their testimonials. And you'll see how those testimonials are going to fit in with the grand scheme in the big picture of things. So let's see, why is this going? Okay. So the next step here is to start creating funnels. And these are client acquisition funnels. And what we do is we have the Nail Your Competition funnel, which is the one where you ask them to put in their URL and you use SimilarWeb to give them a report. And then we have our testimonial funnel, which is basically just a big funnel of people saying good things about us. Because we know, just like when we talked about shark fishing in our other lessons, that if we can take those testimonials and bleed them out, then the success is going to be much better because people are going to be seeing it. For instance, you're probably all of a sudden starting to see people say things about like my course in that group. Like, hey, I got your course, let me in, this, that, blah, blah. When people see other people are doing it, or like when Chance or Isaac or Jim or Freddie, someone throws up a testimonial and they're like, hey, it's only been a week and I'm already starting to get these client trials. All of a sudden, I start having tons of people pile in. And it's because testimonials work. So, for instance, you saw Jim's testimonial from the dentist. If not, it's posted in the group so you can see it. Someone's going to see that. They're going to see an ad copy that says 200 plus leads for a dentist, and they're going to go, holy smokes, and they're going to click into that. And when they click into that, if they see another testimonial, which we'll get to, then it just is crazy. It's like they're being buttered up and pre-framed to start your business. So on the Nail Your Competition funnel, we have the how would you like to take your competitors' customers right from their hands? And whenever you guys get to this Nail Your Competition funnel, just let me know, because what I'll do is I'll send you, actually, we'll do a video. We'll do a video on Friday. We'll spend about 15 minutes talking about these two funnels in a little bit further detail. And then you basically, that's their ad copy. Then here on the next page, you have their URL and their name and their email. And then you get them to a thank you page, which gets them to try to input their phone number for a free consultation, but at minimum to like your Facebook. So that's what you try to get them to do. And then what we add is this T5 video. Now, T5 is going to be at least one of your videos that ask this question in the testimonial. How would this give you an edge on your competition? So all you need is just one person to answer that question. It's great if all of them want to answer the question, but if they don't feel comfortable with it, but make this your last question. Because if for some reason it gets awkward and they don't answer it well, chop it out. Just use the rest of the testimonial. But out of all these people, get at least one person who you feel like, okay, they gave a solid answer, and you're going to put that one on the thank you page. Because you want people to feel like this is going to get them that edge up on their competition. And the reason I put it on the thank you page is because I want them to call. See, on the middle page here, or the front page, we're basically just wanting it to be simple and get their email and their URL. Like, we don't want a lot on that page. But on the next page, we can sell them on our competition. So we can put a video in there, which is pretty cool. And keep in mind, all those testimonials, we need video testimonials. So I know some people have said, can we do writing? We can kind of do writing. It'll help us later on. You'll see. But the videos are really what we want. So testimonial funnel is basically us saying here, hey, business owners, it's like, for instance, look at Jim's. I got 200 plus leads for this dentist. Look at what he has to say. And then you have your video on it. And then on the next page, you collect some info, and you also have a video on that page. And then on the thank you, you put the same T5 video, and you get them to thank you and go to your Facebook page. You could almost do you could almost mimic the same page. Just copy that same page and use it at the end of the funnel. So that would work for you. So I'm going to real quick back out, make sure everybody's on par, everyone's understanding. So give me 1 sec at this point. I don't know why my computer takes forever. Okay, so I'm looking at the chat box here. I think, where's my chat box? Let's see here. Is everybody liking this so far? Everybody getting this? Okay, cool. I want to make sure I'm not flying through these things too quick, and people aren't getting anything out of it, because I'm kind of breezing through some of these. Okay, so I'm back into my full screen here. I just wanted to make sure everything was good. When you have it full page here and you can't really see what's going on the back end, it makes you just want to make sure that you're not talking to the air. Okay, so that was our testimonial video, or our testimonial funnel. Then it starts, as you can see, you might not have seen it pop up here on the left-hand side. We need an email sequence. And so we're going to do an email sequence. So if you haven't already set this up, do so. And in that, it's going to be that if they opt into either one of these funnels, doesn't matter. They're going to get the same exact email sequence. They're going to get videos. That's all it is, testimonial videos. Notice that I put them out of order because I didn't want to use these ones that we've already used. I wanted them to think we have other testimonials. So you change up the email sequence order a little bit. Then at the very end, I figure, okay, if you have extras, great. But if you don't, you can start using 1 and 2 again because it's been a while since they've seen them. Maybe they forgot, maybe they didn't, whatever. And then on the very last, we're doing a last call. Basically, it's a call to action. It's the last email we're sending them in the sequence. We're trying to get them to take action and join or start using our services. So this here is a fairly effective thing. The thing that was kind of frustrating for me, and it probably slowed down my growth, is that I didn't have my email sequence set up. I actually had emails pre-typed, and I copied them and pasted them to groups of people. I know it sounds goofy, but I didn't know how to do it, and I was hustling. So I actually copied and pasted emails, and I would have like, okay, I would set them up in my email groups, like, okay, this is the group of emails that opted in on this day. And every day it was just part of my routine, this email sequence thing. It was quite frustrating. So I'm glad that now I have this automation set up. After the first month and a half, you're like, okay, I cannot keep doing this. So get that set up. If you need help with that, I'm sure there's someone in the group who's willing to help you for free. I'll help you with what I can. I know it's easier with the Actionetics, but like with SendGrid and this and that, I ended up having Danny Vega help me out with it. So, is what it is. So then you might be thinking, wow, this is going to be expensive to have, this campaign running, but it's really not. So this is the amount of live ads you need. You have the Nail Your Competition ad, you have the testimony ad, and then you have your retargeted ad. Because see, anyone who opts in to, let's see here, where is it? So this actually comes out because now we have that. So anyone who opts into where you see these RTs, those people get retargeted. So like, for instance, they opt into this funnel. They're going to get retargeted with the same ad that you had up here. They opt in here. They're going to get retargeted with the same ad, the same exact ad that you had up here. Same thing for people who opt in through your email. They get retargeted up here. So you got a lot of cool stuff going on. Now, here's something though to think about. I know that we've been doing our retargeted ad. I know that we've been doing our retargeted ad in a funnel. But what I ended up doing, and that's what last night, is I thought, if I could go back, I wouldn't have put the retargeted ad in a funnel. I would have put the retargeted ad on a landing page somewhere in the backside of my website. The reason for this is because funnels are good when you're collecting information. But if you've already got their information, do you still need to put them through a funnel? Because these are people who you want to learn more about you, to be intrigued with you. See, if you put it into your website, a landing page, and when they say, do you have more information? You send them the link to that video in the website. It does a few things. One, it generates traffic. So by generating traffic for those people, the other thing is you can keep it in the funnel. And if you're using a WordPress site, then what you can do is just use the plugin. ClickFunnels has a plugin, and you can actually just have your funnel right into your WordPress site. Drives your SEO, so it helps your overall campaign, and starts building up your website because Google starts noticing this traffic to your website. So that's an option. Think about that. Try to think about whether or not you can do whatever you want, which one you want, but think about whether or not you want that email to be a funnel or to be your website. Because if it's your website, in the long run, it's going to help you build your business better. Okay, so let's talk about this free traffic. So if you haven't seen it, I'm going to be posting it today. I did a webinar on free traffic about 2 weeks ago. People loved it. And we went through like Reddit, LinkedIn. Actually, I don't know if I did LinkedIn. I know we did some of the Facebook groups and whatnot. I like to actually have a free traffic schedule, which I talked about in that video, where basically if I, like say maybe 3 times a week, I post everything to the same groups and I'm good to go. So that way it's part of your routine. Don't undercut your free traffic, because I've gotten so much business from my free traffic. So that's why I put it right in the middle. I have it going. You could even take that free traffic arrow and you could point another one to the website if you want. I personally like to do it to the funnels because we are trying to collect information and we are trying to go in there with a purpose. So hopefully that all makes sense. So here's the thing that you need to know. You're not that far. You might look at this and think, dang, I got so much to go. I'm only in my client trials. But I'm all about visuals. Like I said, when you can see something, when you can see the light, you can see the path, you're good. You can see how quickly this can be done. So I want to show you how quickly it could take to get this campaign up and running. I don't know why there's an empty green circle, but anyways, so you guys have, oh, I know why, because of the retargeted ad. So you guys have already started your retargeting campaign. You've already started your client trials, and you're already sending the email with that funnel, the video to them, hopefully. I know some of you are. Now, some of you guys have already gotten 4 client trials that are up and running right now. I think Jim for sure does. I think Isaac might, and I know Chance has 2. And I'm kind of going off the top of my head here, but I know that you guys are already running client trials. And this week, you should be able to get their testimonies. If it maybe next week for for some of the ones who just started this week, or maybe they accepted last week and they're just getting you access to their account. Regardless, it doesn't matter. These are client trials. Now, do you need to have all 7 customers in place to start this campaign? No, you don't. You just need to have at least 4 testimonials to start. That's it. Even if you don't have customers, you can start it. The reason why I like having the customers, though, is because with having customers, the money is coming in, and so it kind of pays for any Facebook ad spend you might be using. And also, it makes things feel more stable. It feels like, okay, I'm hustling up here, but when I'm not hustling, when I'm with my family, when I'm sleeping, I'm still making sales and I'm still working through the night, even if I'm not, because I got these funnels working for me. I got my email sequences working for me. I got my website working for me. I want you to think of all of these things as employees, because that's really what they are. Except for they're exactly what you want them to do. Unfortunately, with employees, they end up only doing what you want them to do when you're around. When you're not around, they don't do what you want them to do. With funnels, with email sequences, with websites, it's like that multiplicity movie where you're just multiplying yourself and you're sticking yourself at places on the internet. But now that you have testimonies, you can bleed the fish and you can throw them back in the water to catch the sharks. And you will. It might not happen overnight. You might have it up and running for a day or 2 and you're like, I didn't get anything. But then all of a sudden 1 lead comes in, 2 leads comes in, 3 leads come in. And you're like, okay, this is pretty cool. And you call them and like, okay, they didn't convert. Okay, well, they're all on an email sequence. So then they end up seeing you. They've been retargeted by your ads. Then they end up messaging you, hey, you know what? And I've had this happen. Hey, you know what? I actually would like to meet up with you. Can you get coffee? And because everyone rejects you at first. Not everyone, but a lot of people do. At least online with the automated stuff, because you're not standing out just yet. But your testimonies make you stand out. And then what happens is you start getting these people who are opting in, and they are converting. And all it takes is 1 to 2 people to convert. I say 1 person to convert. And this right here is really only about $250 a month in ad spend for all these things, maximum. It takes 1 person to convert that month, which I think you can make 1 sale in a month. And that just became paid for. That just took care of your ad spend and took your company to a new level. So once you have those things, now you can create your funnels. You can build your website out right away. You can start doing that as of today. And you can start building out your free traffic sources. And then you can start your email sequence even with only the 4 testimonials. So you can throw out the 3 that other than the T5, and then put the last call in there. And you can still start doing that for them. It will get more effective once you have a longer email sequence, once you have more people. But this is what happens, is you might have noticed that, think about it, 2 months ago, did you know who Ross Christofoli was? And I'm not trying to put myself on a pedestal, but this was my business model that I've now sharpened up. Did you know who I was? Not really. Probably none of you knew who I was. You might have seen me post a little bit in Dan's group. But then all of a sudden, boom, it was like I'm kind of like everywhere. at least online, I'm pushing myself a lot. And it's because it's a strategic campaign that I have. And I have people messaging me and coming in from overseas. I have people who have never met me and they're joining my class, and it's exciting for me because it just goes to show the campaign works. And so you can be everywhere in your community. Some people think, oh, it takes a long time to build up a good name. It takes a little bit, the longer you're in there, the better it is because of your credibility. But you can be everywhere tomorrow. All you just need is those testimonials. People start seeing you. They start wanting you to help them with this and that. And, like for instance, Isaac, he just told me before this started out that the same chiropractor who he just got all these good results for, who's going to give him a good testimonial, was like, hey, can you also help me with my wellness program? So now he can help him understand the value ladder, and he can help him to upsell to that wellness program. Chance, I believe he just told me he's getting referrals and recommendations from the chiropractor he's with. Jim, he's getting dental practices and landscapers, and you better believe that that word's going to be getting out. I think I also saw somewhere that Isaac's going to be in front of like 250 realtors because he did such a good job for the realtor he's with. So you see how like the word grows, and testimonies and people that when they like you, it just makes you explode. And all of a sudden, it became like almost easy. It becomes a little easy. And you just have a routine where you wake up and you're like, today I'm going and meeting this person. Tomorrow I'm going meeting that person. I'm setting up this trial today. And you become on a schedule. And it makes things really organized. So hopefully this is getting you guys kind of pumped up to like, okay, I got to build this. I got to get this set up because, this is going to really, make everything roll good. And I want to point out one more thing. You'll notice that there's nothing in here that doesn't complement each other. For instance, the cold calls, if you get to a point where you are doing $10,000, $15,000 a month, what I recommend at that point, find someone who's good at cold calls. Let them take the course, listening to the playbacks on the course that you already purchased, and have them doing cold calls for you all day. Or even at this point, I wouldn't want anyone to just give a random stranger my course if they're not your employee. But you can teach them yourself how to do cold calls and get somebody who is interested in getting paid to set, appointments or commissions, because you're going to get to a point where you're working on funnels and you're working with customers face to face, and you're going out and talking to them. And you might already be kind of experiencing this with your client trials where it's like, where do I fit in the cold calls? The way I did it, I never hired anyone because I had so much overhead in my last business that at one point I had over $8,000 a month in payroll between my two stores, and it was terrible. They were all part-time employees, so it was a headache other than one of them. And what I ended up doing was I had my Excel sheet, and I think Isaac said he has this too, downloaded into my phone with Google Sheets. And when I'm driving somewhere and I'm going to like a gas station or I'm going to whatever, any destination, I try to make 1 to 2 calls in between each one and talk to them. And it does allow you to keep growing. So get in that habit of doing that. If your wife's in the car, it may drive her nuts, so don't do it, because my wife put a kibosh to it. And plus my baby crying in the back didn't help my professionalism. But if you can keep that rolling, then you'll never run out of spaces here. And think about it, the more and more spaces you add, the more and more email sequences you can add, the more and more ads you can put in your free traffic, you can create more funnels that help you out. At some point, when your name is well known in your community, you can make a funnel just about it doesn't even have an offer, just about your company. See how that goes for you. But all of a sudden, you're just starting to get it. You're creating your little empire. It's like playing a game of chess. You've put all your pieces in place. You're protecting your king, and you are absolutely growing your business. And that will be amazing. So now let's go on to what you can start doing. Let's see, where's this today? what you can do now. I have my little Ricky Bobby quote. If you ain't first, you're last. So today, start making plans for a website. Make sure that if you don't already have one, you get a logo, your URL, and once you get your URL, order business cards with your logo on it immediately with that URL. I'll at the end of this, I'll show you guys an example of my business card. You can see if it's something you're interested in mimicking, because I can well, the back end's pretty proprietary, I guess, but okay. Also, install your customer acquisition video in the website. Now, here's something I wanted to point out. I uploaded it to the group yesterday, or to the portal, but I have a video. It's an hour long, but it shows you very easily how to build a nice looking WordPress site in under an hour, and all of the stuff other than the hosting is free. So that website will literally cost you like $5 a month if you go through like HostGator or GoDaddy or something like that. So it's very simple, very easy, and it's the same website I have now, but I was building it for like a cell phone customer, but it's the same theme and template. So then as far as your funnels go, if you've already got your client, your testimonials, only if then go ahead and set that up. Because here's the thing, I don't want you guys to start doing this and setting this all up and not be doing cold calls, because it'll take you longer. So make sure you stay focused on that. Then the other thing is work on integrations. So start figuring out how to get your email sequences ready now. So you can do that at night. I see you guys on at night. So you probably do the same thing as me. You get your family to sleep, you do your family time, and then you come back in here and start hustling. Do this then, because it doesn't matter if anyone else is awake when you're doing that. It'd be better to be out making business when people during business hours, and do that at night. So utilize your time properly. So get your free traffic schedule all set up. You know, I know it sounds goofy, like set my free traffic schedule. Please do it. Know exactly what groups you're going to put it all in, because you don't want to always put them in the same groups, because you don't want to get banned. So, and if you don't have it on a schedule, you won't do it. That's just a fact. It'll get pushed to the side. If you don't have it on a monthly schedule where it says today I got to post in this, tomorrow, this day I got to post in this, you won't do it. And you'll be lacking free traffic. And everyone I talk to, even people who are very successful, they're like, oh yeah, I don't really do much free traffic. I should really do more with Reddit, or I should really do more with these groups. And they don't, and it ends up biting them in the butt because they're paying for it. I mean, yes, they're successful, but I'm a big fan of, if I can save money to make money, I'll do that too. So you can give yourself a raise today with free traffic. And like I said, not during business hours. So the reason why I don't want you guys to do all of these things is because you need to still be cold calling. So don't be like, oh, this is great. Like I showed you this today because I want everyone to be excited. I want everyone to be all pumped up and jacked up on Mountain Dew. But I don't want everyone to all of a sudden push everything to the side. I don't want them to say, okay, well, now we move past cold calling. You never move past cold calling. Cold calling is always there. So now what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to promote to panelists, you guys. I'm going to answer some questions. So everyone should be a panelist right now. Let's see here. Let me unmute your mics. I hear myself echoing on someone's computer. Vlad, I put you in the mix. Okay.
Cool.
So what did you guys think of the business model here?
Insane in the membrane, ready to go for it.
Yeah, it just blew my mind with it.
Awesome. The campaign just is a really cool, well-rounded campaign, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like you're hitting people from every aspect. So do you guys have any questions? I'll throw, let's see here. Do you guys have any questions on it?
Well, as far as just setting up, it looks pretty practical. Get your testimonials, get your client trials going, and then little by little set everything up. It's like Lego pieces pretty much.
Exactly. Yeah, or Monopoly, that game where you're like just sticking the pieces in as they come. Which
Yeah.
is the fun part. And another thing too is you feel accomplished. Like for instance, you guys are going to start getting your client testimonials, and that's going to be exciting. And as you're getting those, you're going to, like, every time you plug one in, you're going to be like, yes, I'm that much closer to building out this funnel or that. And once you get the 4, then you go ahead and you kind of have it in place. And then as you add the 5th one, you throw in an extra email sequence, and then you throw it down in other videos or on your website. So it's just exciting. Like, yeah, I don't know, because I do like playing with the funnels and this and that. It's fun to have like a really good solid campaign, but it's hard sometimes to think dynamically in every direction of how is this campaign going to look,
Yeah, definitely. And like you said, I'm gonna go talk to the real estate agent and the chiropractor. So those two are just 2 testimonials right there.
Yeah.
So I'm excited, bro.
So you're
This is
almost
awesome.
there. Okay, cool. So now how about the website? I know Isaac's got someone building their website for him. Jim, do you have a website already?
Yeah, I do. It's aimed at landscapers only, though. I got it all set up thinking I was going to focus on the landscape niche. Then Ross Christofoli came along and changed that plan. So now I got to set up another website.
Woohoo! You
Just-
got a catalyst.
Just a heads up, and it's up to you, but it would be pretty darn cheap, but my Social Main Street website, I'm actually going to sell because I'm no longer taking on small business clients for myself. I am officially consulting, coaching, educational business because I'm maxed out on what I can do, and with my back the way it's getting, I just cannot keep going and doing all these meetings and stuff like I am today because my legs are like in constant pain. So if for some reason you're like, I need a website, but I don't feel like doing all of it, we could change up the logo, change up some of the information, and I could sell you my website pretty darn cheap because it didn't take me that long to do it, like an hour. So it's up to you. Just a thought.
Yeah, I'd like to talk to you about that because websites are not something I enjoy doing. I can do them. It takes me forever. I want to cold call and bring in clients. That's what I want to do.
Yeah, and that's the thing is it's a pain in the butt to build it, but it is important, I think, because the thing is on WordPress, your SEO ranking is so much better than on ClickFunnels. I don't even know. I think SEO because Dan Henry ranks on Google, but I think eventually ClickFunnels ranks on Google, but it takes forever. To where on like WordPress, you can get up on Google rankings pretty darn quick. And so that's why it adds to your traffic stream when you have that website, because people are going to also find you naturally. If we remember the way Russell Brunson says it, we have traffic we control, don't control, and the traffic we own. And then I also say the traffic we influence. But the traffic that we don't control, a lot of that will come through our website. People who just kind of organically find us. And what happens is people sometimes, they see your ads all over the place because of this campaign, and you're kind of dominating an area. And if you have a really catchy logo that you're throwing out too, it's going to help because that's going to be in people's minds. But when you're doing that, sometimes when they want to find you, all of a sudden they can't find you. It's kind of like when you see something in your house, you're like, oh yeah, like I saw a memory card the other day and it was like 100 gigabytes or something like that. Or yeah, and then I said to my wife, where is that? Because I was looking for it for my camera. It's like something's always there until you need it. So you don't want to be you. So if you're on Google, when they need you, they can type in a few key things and that will help them because they'll be able to find you. One other thing that I was going to mention is that the reason why I do, let's see here. Oh yeah, you want your videos to kind of make sense. So like for instance, your retargeting video, don't feel bad if it's the same video that was in the landing page they came into, because you just want them to see you again. So it'll make more sense to them. Now, if you have other ones, that's good too, but when they all of a sudden see the same one, kind of like when I was talking to you, Jim, about your testimonial or your thing where you talk to them in the video, I said, make sure that you do it in the same scene as the one where you're holding up the board. Because when they see the same background and they see the same guy, it all of a sudden makes sense to them. Now that all there is a part of, what did I just do? You can, okay. That is all a part of your retargeting video. And over time, that you might end up adding a second retargeting video, but that's totally your call.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, that was
You're an
shot at
airplane.
location, so.
So everybody got a game plan here. Do anybody have appointments today?
12:30, I got to run.
Who are you meeting with?
Chiropractor.
Awesome. Is this a new one from the cold calling?
Yes.
Awesome.
I have 2 trials from yesterday, and I'm going to go get another trial today from this chiropractor.
So how many current, is it right now you have 4 going?
With this, well, I have at least 4 trials going. 1, 2, 3. Yeah,
Awesome.
4 trials and potentially 2 clients. They're sitting on the fence. They acted real interested, and haven't heard back from them. The one landscaper has me as admin, and has his credit card loaded in, everything. He's just not doing anything right now. So I think he'll come on. I'm just going to let him breathe a little bit and give him some time. Not really, act desperate. But those 2 come on. There's $3,000.
Yeah, man. That's pretty awesome. That's pretty cool. That means right away you have some passive income, and hopefully that starts helping and bettering your family situation too. Because here's the thing, our families, I know Isaac's single, or maybe he's dating, but he's not married.
No, I'm single.
Are you married, Isaac?
No, I'm single.
Oh, okay, you're single. And Jim, are you married?
Yes.
Okay, so you're in the same position as me, where until money starts coming in, our wives are like, I don't know what they're doing. They're in the room, and until the money starts coming in, then it legitimizes things. So it'll make your business feel so much better to where you'll start growing because of your mindset. Because once you feel like, okay, I've done this, I've got sales coming in, I can do it again. I know how to double that. I know what I did. And then you get to a certain point where you're like, I know what I can do to even create even more than that. And then hopefully by the end of the 8 weeks, you'll feel so confident in your skills. You'll be like, why did I take his course? I know how to do all this stuff. So hopefully that's why, that's how you get. But the cool thing is putting all of this stuff into action. Now, that brings me to a question I had real quick. I threw up a poll. I don't know if anyone saw it.
No.
I was hoping that I could get, problem is that there's only 2 people here now. I should have done it when there were more people. Well, maybe there's more.
I got it right now, Ross. So I'll check in with you guys later. Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, take care.
But if you guys, see you, Jim. Have a good one with that, and let me know how it goes.
All right, I will. Thanks.
So if you guys look at that poll, though, just let me know what you think later on. But anyways, good meeting, good chat. Look forward to Fridays. And if anyone has any questions, please feel free to message me, email me. I can call you, whatever be the case. Vlad, I'm happy to have you here. And, even though I don't know if you're in the same country as us, I am more than willing to do anything I can to help you.
I'm in the U.S. too.
Oh, you are in the U.S. Okay. By the name, I had no clue.
Yeah, a lot of people do that.
Where are you at?
I'm in Florida.
Florida? What part of Florida?
South Florida, Fort Lauderdale.
Okay. See, I was born in Fort Myers and lived in Lakeland for 11 years. So I know Florida pretty decent. Cool, man. Well, did you enjoy the presentation this morning?
Yeah, great presentation, man. I'm about a week behind. I'm still absorbing the week 1 stuff, but yeah, I'm catching up.
Okay, sounds good, man. Well, have a good one, and I'm excited that you're here.
Thanks, man. I'm excited too.
Everybody have a great day.
Peace.
Later, guys.
See ya.